Alex Jones Show, because there is a war on for your mind.
I told you they'd try to have recounts. They don't care. They got hundreds of thousands more votes for Trump when they just did a few states. I told you they are in hysteria. Okay, I have a bodyguard now. Okay, former military, patriot, Blackwater, whole 9 yards. I mean, the real deal. And we were on the hike and bike trail this morning and, you know, had a guy come up and get in my face, and a big guy, and say, why are you against world government? It's the right thing. It's the thing to do. You need to support it. And really get in my face with just shaking. World government. It's the right thing. It's good. It's good. He was like a cult member. He was like a big guy, you know, in good shape. He ran up the big hill past us, then lapped around, came back down. He laughs at me and then turns around in my face. I've had people threaten me, you name it. They've gone into a total mental illness. I'm the liberal. I'm a libertarian. I want low taxes. Live how you want. Do what you want. Leave me alone. I'm not telling you, how to talk and what to do like Hillary and the globalists and Merkel. I don't like Islamists enslaving women, but the left's all allied with them. It's bizarre. And then they're on the news. It's in my local paper. It's in the New York Times. You know, we need a new election. The Russians. Give me a break. The Russians kick the same globalist oligarchs out of their country, so they're nationalist. They have the same view as the patriots of this country. But all over the world this is happening. And Roger Stone was bringing up the really big issues here. You know, I understand that the POTUS 45 is confident. He's an honorable, tough guy. But I'm telling you, man, they mean business. They know their whole world government's going down. The new renaissance is here if Trump gets in. And next hour, we're going to talk about a two-front war. Because I'm having to deal with not so much my listeners, but some of the other libertarians and patriots and other folks that see who he's appointing and really don't get the full history of what's happening and the fact that Trump's already delivering, but he's getting key people from corporations that are in the power structure but actually agree with him, like Rex Tillerson, who was forced to stop financing the whole anti-global warming movement. He was forced to, quote, tacitly get on board or be removed from Standard Oil's chairmanship, which is ExxonMobil. He took ExxonMobil away from the Rockefellers in 2006. That's coming up next hour. But Roger Stone, I want to give you the floor, my friend. Let's repeat what you said, because that's a bombshell. And I want to use it for a promo, quite frankly, because, I mean, weeks ago I knew about this, obviously, from sources, and then I talked to you about it. You said, yeah, that's pretty dead on, but I wouldn't go there yet. So we've sat back, we've waited. People are all mad about the Romney thing. So go over what Trump was really doing.
Yeah, Alex, in retrospect, I now realize that President-elect Trump was toying with Mitt Romney. Let's not forget that Mitt Romney called him a con man, a fraud, and a phony. That crosses a certain line. It's one thing to oppose Trump's election. That's fair enough. Maybe say, in your view, he's unqualified. But that kind of name-calling is beneath contempt. And Trump is not a guy who forgets. So in retrospect, I now realize that he was diddling the guy. And someone very close to the president-elect told me that Romney's tongue was hanging out, that he kept calling Trump Tower repeatedly. My sources tell me that the president-elect told Mitt Romney that in order to be considered for Secretary of State, he would have to issue a public apology for the names he called Donald Trump, something he declined to do. So instead, he went out and had this presser where he said, well, say anything you want about Donald Trump, he was able to do the one thing I was not able to do, get elected. Nice, but not what was required. So I think the Romney candidacy is dead. I think Tillerson is an excellent choice. Actually, I think his skirmish with the Rockefellers is what first brought him to Trump's attention some time ago. He has that same confidence and that same can-do spirit that Trump has. And I think he'll be totally loyal to the president, which is the most important quality for a Secretary of State.
And let's be clear. I mean, Rex Tillerson started as a on-the-line oil field engineer and moved up to the head of what some years is the biggest corporation in the world, number 5 right now. Reportedly, he is the most magnetic salesman anybody's seen and has gotten Exxon into countries and Mobil into countries nobody else can. That's how he went right to the top, is because he's such an incredible diplomat and negotiator. Oil companies have to be able to do things nobody else can do. This shows pure genius, in my view, by Trump.
Well, and most of the criticism I've seen today is, well, he doesn't know anything about foreign policy. Well, Alex, the people who have been running our foreign policy for 30 years know all about it. They're trained for it. How are they doing?
Horribly.
Not too well. So there's no secret here. Jim Baker, regardless of whether you agree with his positions, he was a lawyer in Houston with no particular expertise in foreign policy. Yet I think he was an effective Secretary of State for the policies of the Bush.
Well, he was devastating. I mean, everything went his way.
So, look, this is a question of putting in a strong, capable man who has a direct line to the president. Doesn't have to go through the national security.
And Trump's not stupid. He knows the best salesman in the world, other than maybe him, and it's a well-known thing in the corporate world, are, for whatever reason, Texans. They head up more corporations. I mean, it's just people love Texans.
Well, I think this is a very shrewd choice. In fact, I think all of his choices thus far have been shrewd choices. There's some other people that I might have put in some of these slots, but I'm not going to second guess the president-elect. I think he's doing great so far.
Because the proof's in the pudding. Let's talk about what he's done. Let's talk about what he's done so far.
Well, he is, first of all, the Mexicans and the Canadians are both ready to renegotiate NAFTA. That's not bad right there. He's not even in power yet, and they're ready to sit at the table and cut a new deal, which is, I think, one of the centerpieces of his strategy. By putting Steve Mnuchin and now Gary Cohn in charge of economic policy, I think you're going to see the Trump economic proposal that he put out during the campaign actually enacted. How rare a politician, or in this case, an elected official, who actually does what they say they're going to do. I know Larry Kudlow was over at Trump Tower the other day for a private conference. I think that's great news, because Kudlow is a real advocate for economic growth and for cutting the corporate tax rate, which is maybe the single most important thing Trump can do to move this economy forward.
Well, I mean, Trump is assembling a dream team. Already $10 billion in steel jobs, confirmed coming back. $50 billion at least in the first year of super high-tech jobs from SoftBank and Mr. Sun, who just loves Trump. Continuing, 85% of the 1,400 jobs lost coming back to Carrier. Now, multiple Ford plants. The head of Ford says he'll bring them all back if they simply make the corporate income tax the global average. I mean, this is incredible. The stock market's added $1 trillion in 1 month.
Plus his public objection to the multi-billion-dollar price of the new Air Force One, which will not even be ready in time for him to use. He'll never fly in it. But he looked at the price tag and said, this is too much. Now Boeing executives are going to work with him to try to get the price down. We're actually going to get economy in government for the first time in my lifetime, probably for the first time since Calvin Coolidge was president.
It's unbelievable. I want to come back in the next 2 segments with you, Roger, and before you leave, talk about your amazing book, because I've had a few first looks at some of the chapters. Incredible. Talk about inside, and I don't know if you can get into details, but you've gotten tacit approval from somebody pretty high up to be able to do this. But this is pretty amazing, the access and everything, because you play down, your role. But I mean, the truth is, you've been very, very central as let's just say, as one of the top brains up there.
Well, look, all credit goes to Donald Trump. At the end of the day, I'm going to show you in this book how it is his intelligence, his instincts, his courage, and his guile that got him elected. In many ways, he got elected despite his campaign. He left the campaign behind.
That's right.
He had a guerrilla grassroots campaign. It was great. But when you come right down to it, it was Trump, the communicator, who beat Hillary Clinton.
That's right. And here's my frustration on the two-front war. And I'm going to have David Knight in here to debate this tomorrow. He's back from vacation, I'm not sure. I love David, super smart guy, totally honorable. I love having a co-host like that is as smart as I am or smarter when it comes to factoids. He was tweeting last night. Oh, Rex Tillerson was for a carbon tax. He was for the whole treaty over in Paris last year. They almost removed him because he was the guy behind fighting it, and then he had to hold on. And now Trump says it's a bunch of bull, and you watch. I will punch myself in the nose on air. I'm being sarcastic, but if Tillerson doesn't come out against carbon taxes, that's who he is. So I get David saying, hey, he was good, now he's bad. Just watch, because I'm seeing Trump already with his appointments just use them to carry out his will. So we're going to come back in 70 seconds to talk to Roger Stone about that. His book is already in pre-sale. We'll tell you about that when we come back. I'm Alex Jones with Infowars.com. They're censoring the site big time, so spread that link, folks. You think our information's hardcore? You think our focus is brutal? Try our nutraceuticals. Try our supplements. We've taken Brain Force and made it Brain Force Plus. Now with 20% more in the bottle and an even more hardcore formula. You owe it to yourself to get these products. They really have worked for myself, my family. They have 5-star reviews by the thousands. Secure your Brain Force Plus today at InfoWarsLife.com. Now 20% stronger. Again, InfoWarsLife.com.